Imagine this. Every month, you wake up knowing there's one payment you cannot skip. A payment that secures your future, your freedom, and your options. That payment isn't rent, it's your savings. What if you treated saving money like paying rent? Automatic, non-negotiable, and life-changing? Today, we're going to explore exactly how thinking of saving this way can transform your finances, your mindset, and even your life. Most people treat saving like a suggestion. I'll save what's left over after I pay bills, buy groceries, and maybe catch a movie. But here's the brutal truth. Life rarely leaves leftovers. If saving is optional, it often doesn't happen. Think about rent. It's a bill you must pay. Miss it, and consequences come fast. Late fees, eviction, stress. Now imagine if saving had the same urgency. You start prioritizing it, automating it, and never touching it for anything else. The psychology shifts instantly. You stop hoping you'll save. You decide you will. Your money becomes a tool, not a leftover. When you treat saving like rent, you also fight two natural human instincts: instant gratification and procrastination. Humans are wired to prefer spending today over securing tomorrow. We scroll, click, and swipe our lives into temporary happiness. But saving becomes immune to that impulse. Just like you wouldn't skip paying rent to buy a fancy coffee machine, you don't skip saving. Your mindset transforms from, "I hope I have enough later," to, "I will have enough," because it's mandatory. And here's the kicker. Once saving becomes automatic, it's no longer a chore. It's just part of your monthly routine, like brushing your teeth. You set it, forget it, and let it grow. Let's get real about numbers. If you make $5,000 a month and treat saving like rent, say 10%, that's $500 automatically going into investments, emergency funds, or retirement accounts. You don't touch it. At a 7% annual return in a diversified investment in 20 years, that $500 a month grows to over $250,000. And that's just the start. Increase your contributions gradually, and compound interest turns your rent-like payments into a snowball that accelerates over time. Contrast that with someone who saves sporadically, whatever is left over. They might save $200 one month, $50 the next, and $0 when life throws curveballs. Even though they think they're saving, the randomness prevents compound interest from working its magic. By treating saving like rent, you remove randomness, emotion, and excuses from the equation. You make progress inevitable. You turn money into an automatic growth engine that rewards consistency. How do you start? First, decide on your savings rent, a fixed percentage of your income that moves directly into savings or investments the day you get paid. Second, automate it. Set up a direct transfer from checking to savings or investment accounts. Out of sight, out of mind, but still growing. Third, treat this account like untouchable rent. You only adjust it upward, never downward, because your future self depends on it. Automation also solves the mental fatigue of financial decision-making. Instead of asking every month, "Should I save or spend?" you eliminate the choice entirely. Saving happens whether you feel like it or not. You reduce stress, increase predictability, and make your financial growth a non-negotiable part of life. Here's where the magic really kicks in. Once your savings are treated like rent, automatic, consistent, untouchable, compound interest starts doing most of the heavy lifting. Every dollar you save earns returns, which then earn returns on themselves. That $500 per month we talked about? After 10 years at 7%, you're not just looking at $60,000 in contributions. You're looking at closer to $90,000 when compounding is factored in. After 20 years, it's over $250,000. You didn't work extra hours for all that growth. You simply treated saving as mandatory. The key is consistency. Small amounts deposited regularly snowball into life-changing sums. The earlier you start, the more dramatic the results. Even if you start late, treating saving like rent accelerates your progress because it's no longer negotiable. You're forcing your future self to win. Now, some people hear treat saving like rent and think, "I'll never have fun again." That's not true. The mindset isn't about deprivation, it's about prioritization. By paying your savings first, you structure your spending around what's left, not what's urgent or tempting. It encourages conscious choices. Which subscriptions actually bring value? Which expenses are negotiable? You might realize you don't need that daily latte if saving is untouchable. But here's the beauty. The sacrifices aren't painful. They're strategic. You gain freedom in the long run. Miss a small indulgence today, and tomorrow you're buying options. A bigger house, early retirement, a dream vacation, or even the ability to take a career risk without fear. Treating saving like rent isn't about cutting joy. It's about trading short-term impulses for long-term security. Finally, let's talk mindset. Paying yourself first, like rent, changes how you view money. You stop thinking of it as something to spend immediately and start thinking of it as a tool that multiplies over time. Anxiety about the future diminishes because your financial foundation is no longer optional. You gain patience, discipline, and confidence. This mental shift extends beyond money. People who treat saving like rent often become more disciplined in other areas of life. Health, career, learning. The principle is simple. Consistent, mandatory action over time leads to transformation. Your money grows, your options expand, and your future self thanks you every single month. Let's cut through the fluff. Here's how you treat saving like rent starting right now without overthinking it. Step 1. Automate. Open a separate savings or investment account and schedule automatic transfers the day your paycheck hits. Don't leave it to willpower. Your future self shouldn't have to negotiate with your present self. Think of it like paying your landlord. If it's not automatic, it doesn't get done. Step 2. Determine your rent amount. Most experts recommend at least 20% of your income, but start where you can and increase it over time. The goal is consistency, not perfection. If 20% feels impossible, start with 5 to 10% and ramp up. Treat this transfer as untouchable the same way you can't skip your rent payment. Step 3. Track your progress visually. Seeing your balance grow, even slowly, triggers motivation and keeps you accountable. Use a simple app, a spreadsheet, or even a chart on the wall. Every deposit becomes a reminder that you're building freedom, not depriving yourself. Step 4. Adjust lifestyle choices strategically. You don't have to live like a monk, but question recurring expenses. Subscriptions, unnecessary gadgets, impulse buys, redirect a portion of that money to your rent. The goal isn't austerity, it's aligning daily choices with long-term wealth creation. Step 5. Invest smartly. Let your savings work for you. Low-cost index funds or diversified ETFs are excellent starting points. Avoid the temptation to chase hot stocks or risky bets. You're building consistent compounding over decades, not gambling for overnight success. Finally, celebrate your progress. Even if you start small, each automatic payment reinforces discipline and builds momentum. By treating saving like rent, you remove the mental stress of, should I save this month or not? It's automatic, it's consistent, and over time it becomes the single most powerful habit in your financial life. Here's the reality. People who consistently treat saving like rent rarely struggle financially later. Why? Because they've mastered the most important principle of wealth: consistency over intensity. They've removed decision fatigue, built discipline, and let compound interest amplify their efforts. Imagine paying rent for 20 years. Except instead of giving your money to a landlord, it grows into a nest egg of hundreds of thousands or even millions. You've swapped short-term gratification for long-term freedom. And psychologically, nothing feels as empowering as knowing your financial future is already partially secured. You also gain flexibility. Want to take a career risk, start a business, move cities? Knowing that your financial rent is paid first gives you options others simply don't have. You can make decisions based on opportunity, not desperation. The final truth: wealth isn't about luck. It's not about earning the most or timing the market perfectly. It's about habits, discipline, and the compounding effect of consistent saving. Treating saving like rent ensures you hit those milestones faster, with less stress and more confidence. By the time you look back 10 or 20 years later, you'll see a clear pattern. Small, disciplined steps, repeated consistently, lead to life-changing results. Your money isn't just sitting there, it's working harder than you ever did, silently growing, securing, and freeing your future. Here's the hard truth, and the exciting part. Building wealth isn't about willpower, fancy tricks, or earning more than everyone else. It's about making saving automatic, consistent, and non-negotiable. Treating saving like rent transforms money from a source of stress into a tool for freedom. By committing to this habit, you shift the entire trajectory of your financial life. Every automatic transfer, every disciplined choice, every investment you make becomes a building block for future wealth. You're no longer hoping for luck, you're engineering it. Psychologically, this approach rewires your mindset. You stop thinking, "Do I have enough to save this month?" Instead, you accept saving is just part of life, non-negotiable, just like rent. And once that mindset clicks, everything changes. Patience becomes easier, long-term thinking becomes natural, and financial decisions feel less stressful and more empowering. Remember, it doesn't matter when you start how small your first payment is or what your income looks like. What matters is that you start now. Make saving automatic and let time and compounding do the heavy lifting. The bottom line, treat saving like rent, and you'll never have to stress about whether you can afford the future. Your money starts working harder than you do, your options expand, and over time, you unlock the freedom that most people spend their whole lives chasing.